Like in Mr. Rogers. There we go. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to our yoga on Thursdays, incorporating a little flexibility and relaxation into our lives. I got to dial back my voice. I can't voice. Oh, here we go. Let's just go ahead and take a seat, cross your legs in a comfortable manner. Just focus on your breathing for a moment. Really try to elongate your spine and bring it back into alignment, reaching on to the roof with the top of your head. Get as long as you can go. Maybe a few little head turns. Now, I was talking about this earlier. Do you guys hear grinding and cracking when you turn your neck? Okay. Well, yeah, it's not a. I just. It's good to know I'm not alone in that. But when I did start getting massages on that, for 2 or 3 weeks afterwards, the snap, crackles, and pops went away. So don't forget to give a little self care, give back to your body with flexibility and something that helps you improve your body. So let's go ahead now, extend one leg. Let's wrap the other one tight and close to our body. Start with the left leg, wrapping the right leg around, holding it in tight. Reestablish that long spine, long neck. Then allow yourself to break forward, leaning forward at the waist. Maybe allow your arms to come to rest on the floor if you have that range of motion. If not, it's okay to always stay up a little bit higher. Each time you sink down a little bit deeper into the pose, try to remind yourself of that long spine, long neck, allowing yourself to breathe down to the floor, in through the nose, letting out slow through your mouth as you allow yourself to sink even further to the floor. Take one more deep breath in, let it out slow as you easily and gently walk yourself back to upright. Let's go ahead and extend that right leg, keeping that left leg tucked in tight. I like for this one, I have a hard time keeping my shoulder back. I just want to break forward for whatever reason. I found by acting as holding onto that leg, finding that long spine. Go ahead and put, I know it's this one. Go ahead and put your left arm and then lean into the extended leg, but really focus on keeping that shoulder back, feeling that elongation through the side, down into the obliques, breathing yourself down further into the pose, all while reminding yourself shoulder back, don't break forward. Take one more deep breath in, let it out slow, rise back to center. This time, let's go ahead and turn into the leg and passively fold forward. So my natural body position wants my leg to flop open. So for the longest time, I've been just doing that, but I'm not getting an effective stretch. So always play with your body positioning, understand your body. For me, and maybe for you, by drawing that one little toe in, it creates a little bit more of a stretch to the side of the leg and into the hamstring. Just letting gravity weigh you down. Let us life ever weigh you guys down a little bit? Okay, for sure, right? Getting heavy. I was thinking about on the way to work today about where my stress comes from. And I realized my stress comes from my mind, and the only person that's in control of my mind is me. And if you put it in that manner, you can kind of think that you have control over your stress level. Try not to let the unimportant things bother you. Focus on your priorities, the things that matter in life. Let the rest go. Let your breath go as you sink down one more time into the pose, letting it out slow as you rise back to center. Let's go ahead and make a smooth transition, bringing that right leg back. Be mindful on this one if you guys have bad knees or if extreme angles on your knees bother you. Try to not bend it so much. Have it at that nice 90. A good reference point is your mat parallel with your shin. Same is true for the front. And from doing these stretches, I've realized it's not so much the lean at a diagonal, it's more opening your shoulder up to the outside while keeping that leg down. And just allow your hip to relax. Once your body adjusts, if your body allows for it, you can kind of come down onto those elbows. I would show you, but I don't feel comfortable with it for my body. So do what feels right to you. Feel the stretch, but still maintain contact with that knee to the ground. Really feeling that stretch right through here. As always, I like to take a thumb and kind of poke around and find sore areas, maybe work out a few knots. And it's crazy, a lot of the problems that I experience in my back come from my lower half where I have no pain. So sometimes the problem isn't where the pain's at, it's somewhere else. So really understand your body, see where it needs work. Let's go ahead, rise back up to center. Gently bring that leg back around. Let's go ahead and fully extend our legs out. Just allow ourselves to bend forward, giving our lower back a brief release before we head into that other side or before we go into that seated pigeon pose. Go ahead and rise back up to center. Find that long spine again. So for me, I cross this leg over and then I start to draw that leg in because I have core flexibility in this region. If you guys have a greater range, you could start with your foot flat on the floor and then allow this one to come over. Put your kickstands back. Find that good posture, long spine. And another simple thing, like I breathe through my mouth all the time, and just simply breathing in through your nose and taking a clear breath, clearing your mind at the same time, letting it go with your air, any problems you have in life. Think about every problem that you've had in your life. Are you still here now? Is everything okay? Did you make it through? Try to have that mentality and that mindset when you're faced with an issue in life. It may be hard at the time, but look at your past experience and realize that you will make it through. Take one more deep breath in. Bring that one leg down. Allow yourself to unfold. Now let's go ahead and wrap that right leg in nice and tight. Extend the other one. Try to have the same angle as before, but if you don't have the ability, that is okay. It's totally normal to have one side a little bit different than the other side. Does anybody have a bigger foot out there than the other? Okay, again, thank goodness I'm not alone in that. I thought it was just really weird for a while. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead. Find that long spine again. Side bend, keeping the shoulder back. Breathing yourself down. Reminding yourself, leaning to the side, not breaking forward. Shoulder back. And another good thing I was thinking about is when I have to force myself into a pose, I really got to squeeze myself back into it. Think of that as when you're working out, you're most effective is you're going to get the full range. And when you get that full squeeze where you're forcing yourself through a new range, take one more deep breath in, allow yourself to come back to center, turn into the extended leg, try not to let it flop outward, break forward at the waist, not rounding at the shoulders or the upper back. And another good reference point, I'm all about reference points to understand your body and see what works best. For me, for the longest time, was just like leaning over. punching at the back, not getting an effective stretch. If you really lead with your chin, every time you lean forward, keep that chin out at the furthest point. It allows you to keep that back straight while falling forward. Take one more deep breath in through the nose as you rise. Let it out slow, making that transition, other leg back. And again, find that 90, no extreme angles. Same is true from the front. And first, before you start to lean into it, open up your shoulder, keeping that leg down. And if you do it right, you should be able to find an effective stretch just staying at this level. Well, at least for myself. And then once you feel that you have it, you can allow yourself to lean back at an angle. And I know the body wants to tense up when you find an uncomfortable position, but try to allow your body to relax fully. Take one more deep breath in. Let it out slow as you rise back up. Be gentle, coming back around. Yes. Let's go ahead and do one more forward fold. Take a deep breath, rise back up. Let's go ahead and make a smooth transition. Tabletop. Try to find the edges of your mat, both with your knees and your palms. And we're going to make smooth transitions between cat and cow. So go ahead and arch the lower back. Look to the roof. Extend with your chin outward, reaching again. If you ever want your voice to get deeper, this is a fun one to do. And let's go ahead and make a smooth transition, rounding the back, tucking the tailbone, sucking the belly button in. Drive the mat out from underneath the front of you, creating that stretch in the back. Once you reach that full range that you believe you have, go ahead and make a slow transition between the two, arching, bending to the roof with your eyes, back down to round, tuck the tailbone, taking at your own pace, sucking the belly button in. Let's get a few more of those in. Now let's go ahead and find a brief plank. Shoot the rear end back. Slight bend in the knees, driving the head down. Now, be careful on the mat. If your feet aren't on it, it may slip out. Take a deep breath in. Find that center point with your left foot. Elevate the right. Now, this could be your stopping point if you don't feel comfortable with the next portion, which is a slight outward turn. Then drive through. Allow that back knee to come down gently. Elevate yourself up. Try to reposition the front foot because I know when I lean into it, I want that 90. So find your balance point. Engage the glute, driving the pelvis down. Good posture, shoulders back. Allow your full body to move forward. Don't bend. Transition forward into it. Don't allow that knee to bow out. Again, play with the angles. Get a slight turn inward. Maybe that creates that more stretch with the hip flexor. Maybe slightly outward. Find that area that works best for you. Let's go ahead and extend one arm above head. Reaching long. Following it with your eyes. Up your arm. To the roof. Back nice and long. Driving the pelvis down. Let's go ahead and slowly guide our hand back down to the floor. Use your knee as a counter lever, driving it in as you rotate, looking to the roof. Use the roof as a guide. See how far your range is on one side of the other. Come out slow. Stay back to center. Shoot the rear end back. Allow that heel to be driven down. Another reference point that works well for me is having contact with my elbow, fingertips to toes, shooting the rear end back, feeling the stretch to the calf, into the hamstring. Now, this is the level I like to be at, but if you guys have a greater range of motion, you could always sit back into it a little bit more, keeping that toe trapped in. That works. Take one more deep breath in. Let's go ahead and rise up. Bring that leg back around. Find tabletop pose. Just kind of wiggle it side to side. Loosen up the hips. A good way to do it is as you shoot your rear end to the left, drop your right elbow down. Same is true for the other side. As you make it back and forth. While you're down there, do a head turn, look to the roof. Make a transition to the other side. Looking to the roof again. Now let's go ahead with our right arm, drive it through, palm facing up, extend the left arm, allow yourself to sink down to the mat, relaxing the best you can. Be mindful that if you have larger shoulders, there may be it may impede upon your neck and circulation, so always be aware of that. Feeling lightheadedness, abort. Take one more deep breath in. Gently just guide your hand, let it drag nice and softly, fully relaxing the arm, extending back out to the edge of your mat. You may have to walk your knees in slightly, shoot the rear end back. Let's reach long, sinking our head down. Go ahead and rise back up. Let's rise back up into down dog. This time try to maintain straight legs, driving the heels down, feeling the stretch to the calf, pushing the mat out. But let's go ahead and make slow transitions between bend and extend, paddle the feet, taking it at your own pace, breathing it out. Let's go ahead and find that center point again, balance point. Elevate the left leg, slight turn outward. Oh, it looks like I don't have a, oh, there it is. Drive through, set down the mat, gently place that knee down. And again, maybe readjust that front foot, engage the right glute, drive the pelvis down, play with the angle, find where that effective stretch is, maybe more towards the knee, maybe slightly outward. Once you feel that you found it, allow your body to sink forward, all at the same time, not breaking at the waist, trapping that knee in. Let's go ahead and extend the right arm. Ooh, ooh. Follow your arm with your eyes all the way to the roof. Take one more deep breath in. Let it out slow, guiding your hand back down to the floor. Once you make contact, use that knee as that counter lever, rotating. And again, looking to the roof, taking your vision or your gaze down the line, try to reach the full range, breathing yourself into the pose. Take one more deep breath in. Allow yourself to come back to center. Go ahead and shoot the rear end back, drive the heel down, toe back, reference point of contact, elbow to knee, fingers to toe. Allow that foot to be trapped in. This is where I really feel that more effective stretch through the side when I don't allow it to wing out. And again, you can always take it to that other level, sinking the rear end back, toe pointed back on the down leg or the back leg. Take one more deep breath in. Let's rise back up. I did both sides on that hip flexor, right? Okay. Sometimes I get lost in it. Let's go ahead and take the left arm, drive it through. And again, speaking of losing yourself, talking about stress and your mind weighing on you, let this be a time that you can release yourself from your own mind, lose yourself in your breathing, the poses. Try to take your mind off life for a little while. That way you can live life to the fullest without the stress. Take one more deep breath in. Let it out slow. Rise back up, dragging that arm in. No muscle engagement. Just let it drag nice and slow. Let's go ahead and extend that arm back out. Keep the rear end back. Child's pose with the extended arm. So fully relaxed passively, allowing your body to come to rest on the floor. Nose to mat, forehead to mat, fully relaxed. If you're ready to use your head as a kickstand and feel comfortable with it, you can bring the one arm back, transitioning one arm at a time, allowing your shoulders and arms to fully relax on the floor. Really let go of control of your full body and your arms, shoulder region, relaxing your body the best you can. Now let's go ahead and listen to the train tracks coming down the line on the left side. So ear to mat, put the other arm back. You may need just fully relax. Take a deep breath in, let it out slow. Nothing's coming. Let's go ahead and check the other direction. Elevate up. Allow your body to fully relax. No tension in the shoulders. Then breathe out at your own pace. Slowly walk those arms back around. Nice and slow. And gently rising back up. Let's go ahead. Transition. Laying on back. Let's go happy baby. First up. Grab for the knees. Open the hips. This is a great time to kind of sway side to side. Loosening up the hips. Maybe front to back works well. Also, take one more deep breath in and take it to the next level. Extend the legs, reach for the toes. You may have to do almost like a reverse crunch. Put the elbows on the inside, driving the hips out. Allow yourself to sway side to side, just loosening that body up, having fun with it. Take one more deep breath in. Let it out slow as you allow your feet to come gently to the floor. Let's go ahead and cross over the right leg. Guide your arm through the hole. Some people like to grab the back of the knee. I like the front. I feel I get more of a stretch as I pull it on back. If you have the ability, Your elbow's right there, so maybe drive that knee out just a little bit, opening up the hip a little bit further. Let's go ahead now, extend that leg, making that transition above, reaching for the calf, leaning it on back, feeling that stretch. This is a hard one to hold, so we won't be here long. Take one more deep breath in, let it out slow. Guide your foot back to the floor. Let's go ahead and fully cross. Find the knee in the groove of the other. Allow yourself to fall away from the upper leg, trapping that leg down, opening up your chest, palm to the roof. Ooh. Try to, so the leg that's underneath, try to straighten that out. So I don't know if you guys can see, this leg is straight, but it's still trapping the 1 foot down, keeping my knee down, allowing me to open up but maintain contact with the floor. Try to sink further into the pose every time you let your air out, letting your body relax. And again, this is another great opportunity if you wanted to take your thumb, maybe poke around in the ribs, see where that soreness is at. I know I carry a lot of tension in my hips, so it's always nice to get a little release if you find that sore area. Take one more deep breath in, unfold, allow yourself to come back to center. Let's get a couple hip swivels in, side to side, reference point knee to heel, as you drop, make your swivel back and forth. Another good reference point is having your feet outside of your mat, falling, feeling that elongation all the way through, down the thigh, making that transition to the other side. Take one more deep breath in, allow yourself to come back to center. Firmly place your right foot on the floor, cross the left over, guide your arm through, reaching for the knee, first crunch back, driving the knee out with that counter lever of the elbow. Focus on your breathing, in through your nose, out slow. And when you're ready, go ahead and extend that leg, making that transition above, reaching for the calf. First crunch back, drawing that leg close, holding it briefly, focusing on your breathing. If it gets a little bit uncomfortable, try to block it out with your mind. Only if it's an uncomfortable feeling, if you ever got pain going on, don't block that out. Your body's telling you something. Take one more deep breath in, guide that foot down to the floor, taking it nice and slow, crossing the left fully over, turning into the knee, allowing contact with the knee to the floor. If it feels right, you can straighten that leg out. As you open up, and as I always talk about, try to take note of one, because it's perfectly normal to have one side different than the other, but there's always an effort that you can bring it back into balance. So take note of any inconsistencies. I know my left side is much tighter than my right, so that's something I really need to work on. Take one more deep breath in, let it out slow, fully open up, palms facing up. Guide yourself back to center, uncrossing yourself. Take one more deep breath in, allow yourself to fully relax on the mat, at the width of the mat. One more time. side to side with the hip swivel. One more deep breath. Come back to center. First crunch. Grab the knees. Rock back up. Take a look around. Everything's just a little bit better. Hopefully, you guys enjoy this. I know I do. It's nice sometimes. Have you ever been in a situation where you feel like you should be doing something and you beat yourself up to get it done, but then somebody says to you, hey, you don't have to do that? And you're like, oh, thank you. Well, we're giving you permission to some days take a break, get back to your body, work on flexibility. Working hard all the time doesn't always mean better. Listen to your body when it tells you to take a break. Take a break in an active rest. Go for a hike. The weather's getting nice. So start living life again. Incorporate those fun things back into your life. That's why you got to do weird stuff like this, because if we're just kind of doing the same yoga every day, that, I mean, you got your, oh, look, there you go, Denise. I forgot the plants. Denise didn't. But thank you guys for hanging out. Hopefully you enjoy this. The word of the week is flexible. Be flexible with your fitness routine by adding flexibility in. Flexible on three in our yoga voices, in house and at home. One, two, three. Flexible. I know it's kind of hard to dial it on back when we got like trap music in the back, but it made that transition from the playlist we're on. Thank you guys for hanging out. Everybody online, hopefully you have a great day and enjoyed in. I meant to say enjoyed and joined in. I've kind of included the two in one. So I just wanted to give you my definition on Todd language. Everybody online, have a great day. What's, what's that?